You know what, everybody, whenever it comes to, hardware and software that is supposed to make your life a little bit easier whenever it comes to making content or, more importantly here, streaming live, there are quite a few companies out there that claim to do it right. Elgato's one of them, Corsair's one of them, Logitech is one of them. And, I got to give a lot of props to Elgato for their StreamDeck. I don't know what I would do without it on my desk to control everything inside of OBS Studio, but a lot of people out there, they want that same functionality, but they just don't want to pay that, hefty price tag for one, you know what I mean? And unfortunately, that sort of kind of keeps a lot of people from getting one of these on their desks to use. If only there was a more affordable, budget-friendly option out there that you can actually check out. And sure enough, folks, there is, from our good friends over at Fifine. Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Terry. We like to talk about streaming and tech stuff here on this channel. Let's dive right in here, shall we? But again though, folks, this was provided to me for review by my good friends over at Fifine. But keep in mind here, folks, this is not a paid review by any means, and they are not seeing this video before it goes live. So rest assured, all the thoughts on this video are in fact my own, okay? Now this here again is the Fifine D6 Stream Controller. And as you can see, it's very similar to the Elgato StreamDeck, but it has RGB, as it should. But all joking aside though, folks, as you'll see from this little video insert here I took on my S24 Ultra, the diffusion around the RGB actually does look very nice, and I think it looks quite tasteful. Unfortunately, to my knowledge here, and I've tried it before, you can't cycle through it, but just that rotating RGB effect, again, I think in my opinion, does look very nice. The way it looks might not be that important to you all, but I'm sure for some of you out there it is, and besides, the more RGB, the better here, right? But how does the actual software stack up? That's that can normally make or break a piece of hardware like this, because the hardware itself could be fantastic, but if the software isn't good, that can derail the whole thing. So let's kind of just jump in here and check it out. All right, folks, after you head to their website to download the software, it should look like this here whenever you first boot it up. Nice, empty, clean slate here for you all. Okay, now, I will give them a lot of credit here, folks. Their categories here are nice and laid out, pretty self-explanatory for what they do. You got your OBS stuff down here. Then for like your different profiles, they call them scenes here, right? So let's say you want one scene here for your OBS Twitch stuff, but then you want a different, profile for maybe, your YouTube streaming in OBS. You can have different scenes and different, selections here and everything, which is kind of cool. But let's go ahead and just set this up as if I'm going to use it right here for my Twitch streams in OBS Studio here, okay? Now, what you want to do is I'm going to go ahead and just put a scene on here, right? Now, this is where it could get a little bit complicated. I'm going to put that in quotes because it's truly not that hard to set up for your average end user, okay? To utilize this, you have to use OBS's WebSocket, okay? And it's not hard to do. Matter of fact, if you use any kind of like, scene switcher software on your phone, you have to do the same thing. It's not hard to set up. We're going to go through that right now here, okay, folks? All you have to do is this here, okay? You want to go up to Tools. You want to click on WebSocket Server Settings. Now, normally, enable authentication might actually be enabled, but for this tutorial here, I'm going to go ahead and just leave this here unchecked to make the whole setup a lot more streamlined here, okay? Now, in order to get your connection info to plug into that app, all you got to do is this here, click Show Connect Info, and then you want to go ahead and copy the server IP. It says best guess, that is what it is. So go ahead and just hit the little copy button, go back to your Fifine software here, click the little icon, and then where it says server IP, just paste that in. Server port is going to be the same. Now all you have to do is click connect, and then as you can see, it immediately connects to OBS via the WebSocket, which is again totally fine. You got to do that same procedure for a lot of other apps out there, so this should be okay, okay? So as you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and call this one here starting soon, and I'm going to go ahead and say scene starting soon. I'm going to go ahead and drag another one on here for my, I'm going to say be right back. I'm going to just call this here BRB. Then same thing, another scene. Then I shall call this here, I guess my live scene here, okay? So live. Now I'm going to go ahead and enable the preview here, folks. I'm going to just give it a shot here, okay? This is starting soon. Be right back. And there's my live scene. I normally have my webcam on here, but I'm using it in this other instance here. So there's that, okay? Now, the only thing I will say about using a WebSocket, and this can sometimes happen, is that there might be a slight delay from you hitting the button to what you actually see it doing inside of OBS Studio. Here, it was rather instantaneous, but whenever I set this up before the video, there was like maybe a couple hundred milliseconds of delay. So if that's ever the case, if you have any kind of like, meme cameras to where you hit a button and, you want to blow your camera up, there might be a slight delay on that, but for right now, though, it seems to be just fine. Now, there are a lot of other things in here that you can do as well. You can open up a website, set hotkeys, add a hotkey switch, a mouse event for like click events, open an app, close an app, have a set of text you want to input into a chat box or something. You can do that there. Same thing here for multimedia. Then, of course, you can create a folder, do a scene shift for your different profiles here. Previous page, next page again for your scenes or profiles here. Go to page, a page indicator to let you know where you're at. Then, of course, you can also have this on your deck right here to just sort of kind of put the device to sleep whenever you're done using it. So whenever you press it, it shuts itself off. The RGB will stay on, but the actual buttons on the front itself will shut off. I'm going to go ahead and delete that there, okay? Now, this here might be a little difficult for some people to get used to if you don't want to go through the WebSocket way, but there's actually something pretty cool with this. There's actually a storefront, a marketplace where you can get plugins for this. I didn't even know that existed with this, but here it is. So here's the store, and again, this is all for free. I was doing some digging in here. You want to go to plugins, then you want to go down here to gaming, if it'll load up here. There we go, gaming. And then OBS plugin, okay? You're going to hit install, hit OK. Now, it's going to give you a lot of the same options that the default one that Fifine ships with this, but it's going to be a little bit easier, and you'll see why here, okay? Now, again, whenever you first put these on your dock here, you have to go into the WebSocket copy and paste stuff, right? But the cool thing is, though, folks, that with this one here, you don't even have to do that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just go to scene selection, if I could find it. Where was it at? Scene collection, virtual camera. Yeah, scene selection right here, okay? So as you can see, it's already on here, and I don't even have to do anything, see? I didn't have to input a WebSocket, a password, or anything like that. It automatically works. But to make sure it does work, you want to go back up here to Tools, WebSocket server settings, and you want to make sure that, again, this is unchecked in order for that to actually work without having to input your WebSocket and everything here, okay? So again, to get that plugin, just go to the store, go to the plugin section, go to gaming, and it's right there for you guys and gals, okay? And again, just like the one the Fifine ships, this has all the other options you might want. You can toggle recording as well, pause recording, toggle streaming, scene selection, turn certain sources on and off, toggle to mute your audio, unmute the audio, have different settings for different faders to increase the volume, to decrease the volume. Like, there's a lot more functionality, in my opinion, than the official one here from Fifine. And you know what? That is okay. This one here is great from Fifine to get you started, but I really think to add some more functionality, you want to go ahead and download this third-party plugin. And again, this way here, it truly is drag and drop. So I'm going to start, calling this one here starting. And then again, just right here, scene selection, BRB. And then just like the other one here, scene selection again to live. I'm going to go ahead and make this one here starting soon. Be right back. And then, of course, live. And just like a second ago here, folks, you can see it right there behind it. It works just fine. And there's no, messing with the whole, copying and pasting your WebSocket stuff or anything like that. Just literally plug and play. Another function I'm glad to see in this software here is the ability to have what's essentially a multi-action button here, okay? But they call it their action flow module. So I'm going to just drag that onto my dock here, And once I double click it to go inside of it, it's going to allow me to execute multiple things one by one down the list here. Okay, so let's say I want one button I can press to not only open OBS Studio, but I can open up my default web browser to my Twitch dashboard to immediately give me access to everything on that dashboard. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to do this here, folks. First, I'm going to go ahead and say, where's it at here? Open an app. No, how about open a website here, okay? I'm going to go Twitch dash. I already have the URL copied. I'm going to go ahead and paste it right in there. Now to open up OBS Studio, I'm going to go ahead and say open. This will allow me to open an app, file, or folder, just like that there. Now to get this done quickly here, what I want y'all to do is this here, okay? Right-click OBS Studio, hit Properties, and then you'll see the target path right here, okay? Just Control A, then copy that. And then right here where it says app/file, just paste that in there. But you gotta just get rid of the quotation marks around there, okay? Then after you click out of it, all you should have to do is this here, okay? I'm gonna do this here in real time, okay, folks? I got the button right here, gonna press that right now. Launch anyway, because I already have an instance opened up here, right? And just like that, as you saw a second ago, it opened up my dashboard right here. Then, of course, again, it opened up a second instance of OBS Studio. Now, overall, do I think the software should have a little bit more polish? Yes, I do. But I think the functionality for what it is, for right now at least, is there. Do I think it's good enough to get somebody started? Yeah, I sure do. You know, it's easy to, you know, pick out the minor flaws this thing might have, but the big thing that it really does have going for it, in my opinion, is not only does it do what it says it does at a much lower price tag, it truly is a much lower price tag, only $80 for this thing. And you know what's funny here, folks, is I was going over the price here just a second ago, and I was thinking to myself, hey, self, for this price, does it even have any kind of like Adobe Creative Cloud integration to have, you know, just a digital hotkey switcher right here for all the different stuff in the Premiere, you know, or maybe, you know, Photoshop or Lightroom or something, right? Well, sure enough here, folks, that if you go to the plugin store again here and type in Adobe, it does have integration with Premiere Pro, After Effects, Illustrator, and Lightroom. Now, Photoshop might be coming at a later date. I do not know. But for $80, you're getting all the benefits of the much more expensive StreamDeck. And yeah, you know, they might not have the bigger options like the XL or anything. But I mean, you're getting 12 buttons here for $80. And yeah, the software, it can be a little rough around the edges. But I mean, with this Adobe integration, for a lot of people, that just might make it worth it right there. Don't even touch the OBS functionality. Just use it for an After Effects, you know, keypad or a Premiere Pro hotkey switcher, whatever it might be. You know, like, that's really good if you ask me, folks. That's a really good selling point. I don't even think they mentioned that on the box. Like, this right here should be one of the main selling points. Like, yeah, for OBS, sure. But just for hotkeys for the Creative Cloud, that's awesome. So I know that a second ago, I did say that I do recommend it despite the software being a little bit rough around the edges. If they could massage it and make it a little bit more smooth. But now that I know that it has the Creative Cloud integration, I 100% recommend it at that $80 price point. That is insane. Man, y'all, I swear, becoming a streamer, content creator, whatever you want to call it now these days, it's getting a lot more affordable. And you know what? I love to see it. I really do. So hey everybody, look, if you have any questions, concerns, comments about this product or anything else I might have covered on this channel, do me a huge favor, sound off down below in the comments. I love engaging, talking to you guys and gals down there. I really do. And if you want to see more content like this here on the channel, do me a huge favor, get the video liked, subscribed. I would appreciate it, folks. It helps the channel out more than you folks will ever know. Thank you so freaking much. And again, y'all, my name is Terry. Thanks a lot for coming by, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.